Hi, welcome. I want to talk about yoga and aging. And I could spend time showing you all sorts of practices for aging gracefully, aging healthily. There's so much in this very rich wisdom tradition that can help people to age better. There's no doubt about that. And actually, I'm spending the whole month over in the Subtle Yoga Resilience Society, which is my membership group on Facebook, and it's also on Kajabi. I'm spending the whole month over there doing practices for aging. I love teaching about it. Actually, I don't know if I ever mentioned this before, but my first yoga therapy gig was in 1995, beginning of 96, actually, when I started teaching at a nursing home, assisted living, independent living facility. And so I had this opportunity to work with so many people who were getting older and were needed help in the process. And so it was such a wonderful 5 years of my life that I got to spend doing this terrific work. And so I get it. I understand how to help people use yoga practices, breathing, meditation, asanas, ethical engagement to help age better. For sure, I get that. And what I want to talk about today is something different. Because what lies underneath all that stuff? I was scrolling through my Facebook page yesterday and the day before, and probably the day before that. But one of the things I've noticed recently, I'm almost 56, and one of the things I've noticed recently is that I get a lot of ads, and everywhere I am in social media, for face creams, devices to help me look better, devices to help me sleep better, snore less, things for my skin, things for my fat, things for my fascia, like my cellulite. Constantly, the marketing people have really are clinging to this idea that women, particularly as we get older, are going to be so miserable and so certain of our, so insecure and so certain of our lack of value to the rest of the world that we will buy anything to make that stop. It's such a toxic narrative, this idea that as we get older, we get more and more useless. And it's a toxic cultural trend to put our old people away and forget about them, when in fact, these are the wise elders. And so what I think is really important in talking about yoga for healthy aging was talking about our mindset about aging, our worldview about aging, our paradigms of aging, and completely dismantle them so that we can start to really think about what aging means. Now, yoga has a goal. I know people don't like to hear that because I think yoga has no goals. It's just about being in the present moment. Not only is that not helpful, it's a cop-out. Yoga certainly has a goal. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga is the cessation of the fluctuations of the mind. Tada drastu swarupe avastanam. So that you can stand in who you are, so that you know who you are. And who are you? So, the yoga teachings say yoga means union, coming together. What is that union? Mind, body, spirit? Maybe that's kind of a nice thing to say, but really it's the union of the individual with the cosmic. Samyoga yoga ityuko jivatma paramana. Yoga is the coming together of the individual with the oneness. It's basically your higher self, or all that is, recognizing the interconnectedness of all things, the interdependency of all things, if you like. That's something that even the most ardent atheist has to understand, is that we are interconnected, right? So if yoga is about the coming together of the individual with the cosmic, or the coming together of the small self with the big self, Those are definitions from the Yoga Yajnavalkya, actually, which was a very important text before the 12th century. Anyway, that's too much history. But the point here is that if yoga is about this merging and this coming together, then that's the process, and it's also the goal, right? So this idea that yoga doesn't have any goals, I don't buy that. I don't subscribe to that. The goal of yoga is oneness, is coming together with this higher self or this bigger idea. And so if that's the case, then aging is a process of moving towards that goal. And it's a privilege, some people say it's better, aging is better than the alternative. Well, yeah, that's kind of funny or whatever, but actually it's a dismissal, and our culture completely dismisses this idea of progression as we age. Science now understands that the brain continues to grow and change as we get older. So it's not like you just stop, you get to be 30 years old and you're done. No, there's so much more in this life. So if you do get to age, wow, let's find ways to be comfortable in the body, of course, so that the mind continue to expand. But I would like to think that yoga gives us the philosophy to help us invert that toxic cultural narrative that getting old is bad. We live in extremely death-defying and death-denying cultures. Extremely. I mean, think about what we do with dead people. We put them in a little box like it's a bed and tuck them in there and put them to sleep. In other cultures, I've been to Tibetan Buddhist funerals. I've been to Hindu funerals that burn the bodies, or in Tibetan case, they throw the bodies out to the fields for the animals to eat them. It's harsh reality that we are part of this cycle. We are part of something bigger. So, sticking somebody in a little box and thinking like they're going to sleep is a denial process. And we have to find new cultural memes, new cultural rituals to move through that and really, really start to at least accept this process of aging and death. And as we start to look at it, not just turn away from it, but look at it and figure out, how am I going to deal with this? And what am I going to do to deal with this? The fact that everybody I love is getting older and is going to die, that it's going to happen to me. How am I going to deal with that? I remember watching this movie in the 70s called Logan's Run. You remember that movie with Farrah Fawcett? And the whole idea was like, once you hit, I think it was 27 or 30, like you're going to get it was a dystopic future. They were going to like kill you in the future. And, it's such a powerful representation of our culture that says like, once you're over 30, you're kind of not so useful anymore. We have to fight against that. And most of us know that's completely ridiculous, but we still get bombarded with those messages all the time, particularly women. And so I think we really have to fight against, we have to become warriors and fight against this toxic narrative and start to figure out, how do we embrace the aging process, and how do we accept this, what's coming, with a sense of equanimity, peacefulness, serenity, and faith, shraddha, and hope, and kind of even excitement and what the next adventure is, whatever it is. Whether or not you believe in reincarnation, there's a next adventure. So I hope this is interesting. I'm not going to do any poses or anything this week or any practices. It's more just like, let's embrace some of the wisdom from this beautiful ancient tradition that has shared with us the wisdom of antiquity, and start fashioning ourselves, start embodying, start thinking about ourselves as wise, increasingly getting wiser, increasingly becoming wiser as we get older, increasingly moving towards a goal of oneness, and be happy, move towards it with a state of like immense and ever expanding happiness. Thank you for listening. I'll see you again next week. Take care. Oh, if you want more, want to join me for more yoga, join the Subtle Yoga Resilience Society. I'll put the link in the description. Bye.